For sure. I hear all of that and have had same thoughts. Your lived experiences, your heritage, what does all that look like? You know, identity is complex. And that's up to you to choose how you define yourself.
I decided to go to the local archive that's here in Sevilla, and it's called the General Archivo de las Indias, and I've told you before that it houses all of the documents related to the New World. All of Spain's colonies are logged in there, and I went in, and it was like rows and rows of white boxes. It was like very uniform. There was like parts that you couldn't access, obviously, because it functions like a library. And there was lots of statues and busts and like paintings of conquistadors and explorers, you know, like the classics, like Christopher Columbus and Cortez.
Yeah, I think having a relationship to process being part of diaspora can also be helpful. I think you're probably more connected to your Dominican roots than I am to my Haitian roots in some aspects, and that like obviously you've physically been there and have been with your family, particularly in that with you learning Spanish and getting better and improving that, you've had more connection to that side of the family. Whereas for me, obviously Haiti is not the most accessible place right now, unfortunately, due to the instability that kind of has spread out my family even further out. And of course, obviously, we all speak different languages to varying degrees, so that makes it harder to have that connection. Haitian side of my culture, and it wasn't like something my dad actively made an effort to like preserve, I will say, whether it be the language or customs or things like that. It's just not something that was like front of his mind, I would say.
So they did have some documents on display, and one of them is called the Capitulaciones de Santa Fe, and it's the contract that Columbus and the Spanish monarch signed in April 1492 before Columbus went on his first voyage, where he quote unquote discovered the Americas. And as you and I both know, he did not discover anything, but he did land in modern day Haiti and DR, where we're from. And yeah, it's wild being inside the colonizer's filing cabinet. Yeah, just archiving control, trade logs, just paperwork of conquest, and yeah, just being inside this database of all these records. I don't know if you've had an experience like this where you've walked through, I don't know, a museum or, I don't know, some kind of archive or exhibit where you see parts of your story or like your culture or your family line. Like you can see connections, but I don't know, it feels quite sterile and blank. And yeah, it seemed very like glorifying this time in Spain's history as if it was bloodless. And it felt very bureaucratic.
In terms of like, are there things or kinds of conversations that we can have that maybe I wouldn't have with other Dominican friends? Yes, I think like you are probably coming from more of a similar like education or curiosity in terms of like things that are occurring between our communities and on the island and the relationships and the politics and all this stuff. Like I think you have a degree of understanding and separation that maybe some of my other Dominican friends do not have.
I wanted to ask about like what it means that, you know, we're both first gen, like from Haitian and Dominican families. Do you think that that matters in our dynamic? Do you think that makes us closer? Do you think it helps having a friendship to process being part of the diaspora? Are there things you feel you can say to me that you can't say to anyone else?
Papi, no tienes que mirar la cámara.
Go to the floor.